Hey, it's Mo Magic and I'm here with Alan R from MotorMatters. We've just launched the all-new Beijing X55 here in South Africa. Alan's going to take you through all the incredible features of this beautiful vehicle and the variants.
Oh, thanks so much. And what a show you put on tonight here at the launch event at this new car, because now you're going to see exactly what the Beijing X55 is all about.
The entry-level dynamic comes in at 394,900 Rand, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. The Elite, 424,900 Rand. And the Premium, which has all the bells and whistles, comes in at 454,900 Rand. I think that deserves a round of applause.
Joined by Christo Evangelou from Infinite Drive. Can I call you a friend of MotorMatters, Christo?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we follow you and you even follow us back.
Of course, and we've been on so many events together and things like that. Christo, you now basically running the drive in the new Beijing X55s. But now I've called you for a few minutes because I want you to tell me a couple of your favorite features on the car that stand out. Let's start with the outside.
Perfect.
What can you show us and tell and point out to us?
Well, in all honesty, I mean, the car looks very modern.
Yeah.
But what I absolutely adore about it is this front grille section here.
Yeah.
The reason being is it's so easy. It looks so modern. It looks like a prototype vehicle that you'd see at a show.
I actually, when I first saw it, I thought this was electric because there isn't a grille as such.
Correct. I mean, they've been very clever with how they've managed the airflow through the turbos and the intercoolers and everything else.
No, absolutely so.
But it's got almost like a show car sort of look to it.
It does, eh? And these sort of almost boomerang effect lights over here, these headlights.
Correct.
Very, very interesting. And of course it is intelligent lighting, things like that. I discussed so much on the spec already. We're not going to talk about spec now because that's not your scene. But just let's have a look down the side of the car. And I mean, you can see the profile. It's what I always call a coupe SUV. Do you agree with me?
It has got that coupe-ish line when you look at the silver accent, how it runs down towards the boot section.
Into that C-pillar, yeah. And then, of course, a standout feature. Just show us those door handles, please.
No problem. Just make sure it's unlocked.
Yeah.
Now, this one is, of course, a level 1. So I had to open up the door manually. The level 2 and 3, when you open it up, the doors pop out automatically.
Those handles pop out automatically, which is a major feature, isn't it?
Correct.
Now, level 1 simply is a spec level. We'll talk a bit more about that when we look inside. But what I want to show quickly, jump in the back seat for me, please.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
But
now,
in all fairness, I'm a shorty, so I always have leg room.
No, you're not a shorty. You're about the same lack of height as I am. Right? Do you know what they call us? They call us vertically challenged.
Yeah, I got you there.
Okay, but now that driver's seat's more or less set for me. Check the legroom there. I mean, look at that, Christo.
Yeah, I got lots of legroom.
Yeah, and then headroom, plenty as well, right?
Correct.
Tons of headroom as well. What is also nice, look here while we're here, you've got aircon vents in the center there, and you have even got down below that a USB port for the back seat. So that's nice to have, isn't it?
For the backseat passengers, absolutely. I mean, I've got kids and they need power for all the...
Oh, come on, are you telling me they'd be happy if you brought home a car that didn't have at least one USB port in the back seat?
They'd be happy if it's got it.
Yeah.
I'd be unhappy if it doesn't because then they're going to be on my case.
Exactly. Let's just come round to the back over here. You've got interactive LED rear tail lights as well. And of course, features of the back of the car. The light bar that stretches right across the boot.
Correct.
And that split rear spoiler over there, okay? So you've got all these kind of features. Let's just pop open there, okay? Now, obviously, it's manual on this model, but check the size of the boot.
Yeah, there's some proper usable space on this vehicle.
Yeah, this is big. And look here. You've even got a 12-volt socket in the boot area. So if you are into your camping and things like that, you want to have a fridge in the back? Now, I know that would suit you.
I'm not so much a camper, but if I were to go to the track...
Yeah. Sorry, okay. Track days, the Cokes and stuff and water for during the day and the beers for when the action's finished for the day, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, put a tow bar in here and you tow the bikes to the track and you've got enough space for my camping chairs, cooler box with the cool drinks, fan for the helmet, that sort of thing.
And now look here quickly, is the diffuser effect, but it's got the ribbed effect to it. the rear diffuser over here, which is unusual, but really neat. Okay, Christo, I'm going to show what it's like on the road, and we'll have some on the road stuff, but you and I are going to jump inside and just look at some of the features on the interior. Okay, so out on the open road now on the return trip after lunch, and I'm being driven by my friend Jason Woosey. Jason, how's it?
Hello everyone.
How are you doing, Jason?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. You're saying the car, the Beijing X55. What do you think so far?
So far, very interesting. I mean, I love the design. I mean, it is very, it's very sharp. It's very modern. It's slightly coupe, like you move inside even, and you see these sort of Lamborghini-inspired seats. I mean, and everything just looks so space age. You got a hard console. I mean, screen popping out. It is actually very, very modern, and yeah, and the drive is actually really good as well. I mean, so far, I mean, it's quiet. It pulls nicely. It's 130 kilowatts, 305 newton meters. You were saying?
Yeah.
And it really, the performance is more than adequate for this package and for this size, and I mean, it's spacious. It's just,
and for the price.
and for the price, that's what I was going to get to. You beat me to it.
Okay, sorry.
For just under 400 grand as a starting price. That is, I think this thing could really ruffle some feathers in that market.
Yeah,
in the compact space where you have Roller Cross and RAV4 and yeah. I mean, look, it's unproven. We don't know what the quality is going to be like in 10 years from now. That is the one downside when you buy a car like this. There is a chance you either take or you don't, but on paper and so far from what I've experienced in the last half an hour or so, I am impressed so far.
No, definitely. I mean, I agree with you, Jason. Now, we're in the level 3 right now, so it's got all the extra functions, ambient lighting, sunroof, blah, 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 blah. You know, the list goes on. And for 455,000 Rand for that is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually not that much of a stretch from the bottom of the range to the top of the range.
No.
I mean, if you are budget conscious, that 394,000 base model is still a good deal.
Well, remembering that mechanically it's identical.
Yes.
So that's the point. It's how many toys and how much luxury are you looking for? That's the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you know that's what you're actually buying at the higher price.
Certainly, yeah. It's
And responsiveness, Jess. I mean, you had a nice overtake a few moments ago. Turbo lag, things like that.
very, very little. I mean, yeah, compared to some of the other Chinese products I've driven, it is actually quite responsive, and yeah, it's just, it gives you that push we need, and it's got a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, which really does this job quickly and efficiently and easily. There's no real waiting around or hunting. It's
It just gets on with it.
very, very good.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jason.
Cool.
We're going to catch some more when I'm driving just now.
Cool. Look forward to it. Okay, now we have Alan driving.
Yeah, Jace, thanks for your drive.
Oh, so what do you think, Al?
Look, I've spent quite a bit of time in this car, so I've had more experience than most people. It just keeps impressing me, I have to tell you, it really does. The power delivery is brilliant. The 130 kilowatts, 305 newton meters is like plenty. No turbo lag, as you said just now. Yeah, you know what the worst part of this is? I actually can't disagree with you on a single thing that you said. There's just nothing that I can say that you picked up that I don't agree on. And we both said just now, it's the value for money prospect, isn't it? That really comes to the fore.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to beat at that price. That's for sure.
I mean, they're setting a standard on the market that is just going to, I think it's going to do big things, quite honestly. Being interfered with by the two-way radios in the car. But, I mean, this is not exactly a very smooth piece of road we're on right now. And yet, okay, there's a bit of tyre rumble, am I right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of firmness that I felt when we were going over the speed bumps earlier as well. But it's definitely not uncomfortable. It's still a comfortable package. The suspension's still good.
Well, I think I would personally trade off that slightly harder ride for the better road holding and handling it gives. So I would be happy with this combination and this setting, can I call it, if it was my car. But overall, I mean, this is level 3, ambient lighting, all these things. It really is quite a package overall.
So we're in the top of the range now. So I mean, it's really got. I mean, it's got your ambient lighting. It's got sunroof, all the bells and whistles really.
And it's got that interesting feature on the sunroof that I just think is so lekker, is that there's detectors that if you park the car, leave the sunroof open, and it detects rain, Yeah, like rain sensing windscreen wipers. Well, this has a rain sensor that will close the sunroof. And in fact the windows, did you know that?
They're very clever.
Yeah, they come up with all these things, don't they? So overall, I'm telling you, the word I'm going to use, one word summary, impressed.
Agreed.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, like I said, I hope they last the test of time. I mean, stand the test of time. Sorry.
Yeah. That's one thing we can't comment on, obviously, right?
Yeah.
We cannot say 5 years' time, but gee, right now.
They've certainly come a long way in 5 years, that's for sure. I mean, all the Chinese brands, they're just, like we were speaking about earlier, they've grown in leaps and bounds. I mean, it took Hyundai and Toyota like 10, 20 years, and it's taken them 5.
Yeah, this is the difference, to catch up with the market.
For sure.
But they've still got that price advantage. That's the big thing. Jace, thanks for your time together in the company.
Awesome, yeah. Let's enjoy the rest of this drive.
You can see I survived Jason's driving, now he's got to survive mine.
Okay, if I don't see you again, love to everyone.
Cheers. We're inside the car right now. Space. I mean, look at this, the driver's seat. And these front seats that are set, I mean, they're modeled on, am I allowed to tell?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say Lamborghini Urus?
So they're very reminiscent of a Lamborghini Urus.
Right. So they've got it all now. Obviously, level 2, level 3, you get electric adjustment. Level 1 is manual adjustment.
Correct.
You can live with that.
I can see from when I was sitting in the back, whoever was driving this is a much taller individual than I am.
Yeah.
Because
you can't even reach the pedals
I
properly.
can't apply full brake pressure yet. So if I were to set myself up,
the legroom gets even bigger in the back.
Now I've got good control.
Yeah.
And then of course what I do enjoy, nowadays I would actually expect it, both height and reach adjustment on the steering.
You see. You know, you say you would expect it, but when we're going to take into account the value for money on this, you're getting so much for your money. Okay, you've got obviously digital instrumentation over there, which can be changed, adjusted, everything. I'm not going to go into all the detail here because there's so much. Same as the center touchscreen. I think it's a 10-inch screen. You can operate everything through the screen.
In fact, you really, it's your main port of call to doing any adjustment on the car.
Well, what's interesting is even your drive modes. You know, most manufacturers, there's a button somewhere or a control somewhere here to change drive modes. It's it's all on the screen.
Correct.
So you've got, for example, Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Smart.
That's it.
Smart being it'll adapt to your driving style. So you've got all these drive modes. You've got all of that. Because, I mean, 130 kilowatts and 305 Newton meters out of a 1.5 turbo.
It goes well out on the road. And in
Absolutely.
all honesty,
So, yeah.
I'm just going to turn down the aircon in that for just a moment. In all honesty, out on the road, I found every time I climb inside a car, the other drivers have it set to sport. I tend to put it back into comfort.
You know, I either use comfort or I actually use smart quite often. Because smart is meant to pick up your driving style.
Correct.
And be the best of all worlds. But you've got a 7-speed dual clutch automatic as well, eh?
You do.
And I must tell you, on the drive out here, you just don't feel a shift. You really don't, and even in sport mode. I was trying to follow you coming here, remember?
Of course.
And there were a few spots I had to put my foot down for a quick overtake.
Yeah.
Now, that's where the power and even more importantly, the torque comes in, that 305 Newton meters.
Correct.
Overtakes are a cinch. And yeah, my big test is always, am I going to safely overtake in any car? No turbo lag, no nothing, put foot, no drama, and even if you were cruising at 120, you knew you could overtake safely.
Absolutely.
That's what I like.
And what I like about the DCT gearbox is because it's actual gears. When I want to prepare for an overtake, you know, I just I shift it across and then I can select the gear that I want.
I didn't even bother doing that, as I said. I just left it there and I went, go. Now also, let's just show quickly, because this is also a lovely feature. The center console, the floating two level, can I call it, with a nice area there to hold your phones, etc. And it's got, obviously, rubberized that your phone won't go flying around with the USB right there.
Makes good sense to me.
It does. A good use of space. That's
correct.
The point. 6 airbags, by the way, just from a safety point of view. Very, very important.
And actually, if you go look at some of the manufacturers nowadays, 4 seems to be the norm, not 6.
In this category, yeah.
Actually, go have a look even in some of the different categories.
Okay, I'll go with you on that. Of course, now, just one feature, I'm just pointing at the door across past you. On the level 3, You even get ambient lighting on the doors.
Yes, it's in the corners over here.
Yeah.
And you can set it from inside what color
Correct,
you like.
yeah. And you get the panoramic roof on level 2 and 3, just for our listeners to pick up the differences, because mechanically they're identical.
Absolutely.
Just one other thing, let me chuck your arm out the way. You've got a nice big storage box over here, which even has cooling.
It does.
So the beers can go there instead of in the boot otherwise.
Correct. As a driving instructor, I'd have to recommend that the beer always happens after the driveway.
No, well, that's for the passengers, not for the driver. The driver signs a sworn affidavit that he's not drinking. Okay.
Non-disclaimers.
That's it. Christo, now, I mean, you've seen, I don't want to go into the screen because it'll take us an hour.
Well, for
But
me,
there is
it's
just
very
so much,
quick
yeah.
as a driver.
No,
So-
I'm saying that it is quick to do, but there are so many functions
Correct.
on the screen. But I think you can see and you can check it out. Last point.
Yes.
Am I going to catch you, or do you know the prices?
Okay, so from the last time I checked and was told by
Right.
the Master's BAIC, base price is around 430, top of the range is 470.
Can I correct you?
You can correct me.
Unless I'm mistaken, level 1, 395.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Level 3, 455.
In this case, less is more.
Absolutely. With warranties, with service plans, with everything included.
Now, because I'm always focused on the driving,
Yeah.
the tech in that is fun, and I expect it of most modern cars. But from the drive, that's what I really enjoyed, and the balance in the car and its sporty characteristic. So when I found out the price of the vehicle, that for me was then what it changes the way you look at a car.
It has to do, because you're expecting it to be a lot more money, that's for sure.
Correct.
And especially, I mean, just look at the space in the back seat. It's much bigger than I actually thought at first sight as well.
Absolutely. So the sporty nature, the size and space of the vehicle, its on-road handling, and then the fact that it's cheaper than a lot of small hatchbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're stirring the market. Should we leave it at that?
I think so.
Christo, thanks so much, sir.
Pleasure.
Appreciate, and thanks for a good day out.
No, it's
Well
a pleasure,
played.
Alan.
Just going to finish off by saying, for MotorMatters, I'm behind the camera yet again, but I'm Alan R. You'll hopefully see me again next time.